Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Sergio, and I will be talking to you about the PAZZI conspiracy. It is a tale full of turmoil and blood and gore and a lot of monopolies.
Are you drunk?
I would say I'm on the cusp, but I wouldn't say that that it would yeah. So let me set the stage for you real quick. The year is 1478, and we're in a little Italian town called Florence. Now Florence's economy at the time was thriving. They had trade networks with Europe and the Middle East, and they were getting big bucks, big bands, big money. And one of these people that were getting big bucks and big bands, big money, there was a man called Cosimo de' Medici. Now, Cosimo de' Medici, he was a man of many things, but mostly he was about that money, that paper. And he got that paper by banking. Now in Italy, he was a very, very wealthy banker. In Florence, he was the only banker. He basically had a monopoly on the whole system in Florence, all right? On the whole thing. If you talk to anybody on the street, be like, hey, who you bank with? They'd be like, oh, the Medici, of course, right? Now, the Medici were very powerful. And they were very strong people, right? They owned a lot. They had a lot of money. They had a lot of prowess, right? But they also had some competition, right? And that's where the PAZZI come in. Now the PAZZI, they were bankers too. They were also bankers, but they didn't have the same prowess. The Medici, they had kings. They had the Pope under their thumb. They had strong businesses and strong trade routes, right? So that's when the PAZZI started scheming. Now, listen, I've schemed every once in a while. I've schemed a couple times, you know. But not like this. The PAZZI, they were mad, man. They were pissed. Absolutely hoodwinked with the amount of money that these people had. What do the PAZZI do? They say, hey man, why don't we just kill them? And that's what they tried to do. Now the attempt was made, right, on Easter Sunday, right, at the Florence Cathedral in 1478. Now, the PAZZI and their accomplices were ready in that moment, and they were gonna wait until the end of Mass to actually make the assassination, right? They were like, we're gonna get him right at the end. Right, we're gonna save room for God, but we're gonna get it right at the end. At the end of Mass, they said, "Ite missa est," which is the Mass has ended, basically, essentially.
That was the cue. So
that was the cue that they would have for Bernardo Baroncelli, a member of the old Florentine noble family, to then start attacking one of the Medicis. Now, he was right next to Giuliano de' Medici. So he went up to Giuliano and was like, you know what? Screw you, dude. And just plunged a knife into his chest. He went, uttering the words, and this was a documented thing. He said, here, traitor. And he plunged a knife into his chest. Now, he didn't do this just once, right? Because one time wasn't enough for Bernardo, apparently. He didn't do it once. He didn't do it twice. Not even 3 times. But 19 times it's been recorded that he stabbed this man. 19 times? I mean, I'm just saying, if you're mad enough to stab a dude 19 times, you got it. You got it at that point, bro. I feel like the onlookers at the time, they were just like, oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get out and just, you know, just recollect ourselves and just go on with our day. How about some bread or some shit? I don't know. after Giuliano gets stabbed, it's up to Lorenzo at this point, because Giuliano's done. He's dead. He ain't coming back. Now Lorenzo, the goat that he is, right, with the nick in the neck, bleeding out of his neck, he pulls out his short sword, because at this point you could open carry in Florence, you know. He pulls out his short sword and starts fighting all the people that are trying to kill him. And at some point, his men get to him and they support him from the back. You know, pause. Hold up. Sorry, my fault. They come in and support him. They come in and support him. You know, and they get him out of there. They're like, "You need to go. You're already hurt. We're not gonna do this right now. You're the heir to the Medici family, and we're not doing this right now." So after the attack, right, the people, they pour out of the cathedral and everything is so bloody, and the whole city knows that the PAZZI probably got something to do with it, right? They get weeded out by some conspirators and some people of the city being like, "You probably had something to do with this, didn't you?" And at the time, people were up in everybody's business. This was a big thing. This is a big thing that happened. These are two noble families fighting each other and trying to settle their ways in blood and gore and absolute war, right? So everybody's mad. They're like, "Ooh, why would you try and kill my favorite banker? Why are you trying to do this?" So this crowd pulls up in the middle of town square as these people are getting prosecuted. They straight up just destroy them because the anger of people got the better of them. The anger got the better of them. Moral of the story is, if you got something to say to somebody, I feel like you shouldn't try and stab them first. I feel like you should talk first and then try and stab them after they don't understand what you're saying. Listen, I don't condone violence. Only sometimes. But here's the thing, right? Violence ain't always the answer. If this guy got a monopoly on everything, right? Honestly, I kind of feel for the PAZZI a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. You know why I feel for the PAZZI a little bit? Because at the time, they didn't really have any laws or anything in place against the monopolies. So what was their only option? They had to go and kill him. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that is what I like to call the PAZZI conspiracy. It's full of murder, it's full of false promises, and it's full of a lot of monopolies, you know. And all I want to say is, again, moral of the story, don't get caught. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, I thank you for watching. Drink responsibly. And say goodbye to Lisa. I said say goodbye to Lisa. Thank you.